Hello everyone, this is Ada Bowman with AB Plus Production here at AdaB360 Studio. I am having a little cold, as you probably can hear. My voice is not the greatest. I'm here with Amy and I wanted to share with you guys a really inspiring story because she really has a story that I think could help others out there. And let's try to make the world a little bit better.
Yes.
So Amy, tell me about it. Why do you do what you do? But before that, tell me what you do so the audience can understand.
Why I do what I do is I want to help other people realize the choices that they make, that they don't just basically affect themselves. And the reason I'm so passionate about it is someone's bad choice ended up killing my son. He was drinking and driving, and unfortunately my son was on his way home from work and never made it home from work. And therefore my mother raised me to be a half full person, with the glass being half full, and I did not want my son to die in vain, nor did I want any other parent to go through what I had been through with the loss of my son. He was 16, full of life, but unfortunately it came crashing down. And what it has done, not to just killing him, but what it's done to the immediate family. The drunk driver also ended up stealing the family unit as well, because we all grieved differently and handled it differently. Some kept it in. So I basically want to help other people realize what they're possibly doing.
So how do you do that? Do you have those meetings held monthly or?
I speak wherever anybody will speak, between churches, military bases, civic organizations, high schools. In fact, next week I'm doing a mock DUI up at the Crestview High School, where they'll be putting together a pretend crash using the students as victims. One is going to be killing the drunk driver. One is the drunk driver. One is going to be the student that's innocent, creating this crash, and all first responders are going to end up coming in. They'll bring life flight in also to demonstrate the impact of what this crash does. And then after that, myself will be speaking along with a highway patrol officer and another person that's been affected by a drunk driver. But this is to help the kids realize the impact, that it's not if, it's when, because you repeat certain things and eventually it's going to happen to you. I also speak to DUI offenders, and when I'm talking about DUI or drunk driving, I'm talking about anything that impacts your mind and your judgment. So it's not just drunk, it's not just the alcohol, it's anything. But every other month I talk with DUI offenders, and it's called the Victim Impact Panel. They're court ordered to come listen to how a drunk driver has affected my life. And it has been a journey over the last 20 plus years, from emotions and growing emotionally, dealing with it, how I first going through the pain and wanting to be that vigilante type person, riding with the sheriff's office or highway patrol or any local municipality police department. It was get 'em, get 'em, get 'em, because I didn't want another accident to happen. Going through the journey of the get 'em, get 'em, get 'em attitude to helping them understand and more educating of what this can do. I want it to be, I guess, a save the world mentality, but it's just through one person at a time. And I don't know how many tens of thousands of people I have ended up talking to over the last 20 years. But I just pray that at least one person has made a difference in their life, change for the better. to help and pass it forward too to other people. So it's not just me spreading the word and helping people make the right choice. Other people will help spread this message as well.
Right. So you've been speaking for about last 20 years.
Yes.
And first of all, I know I said it earlier, but I'm going to say it again. I'm really sorry for what happened to you. I cannot imagine, as a parent, the pain and the emptiness that you feel at many times. I cannot even imagine that pain. But I can say that it's probably so unbearable and it's so hard on you. And the fact that you took that and you turned it into a positive aspect of trying to educate the society and speak about it, it's a very wonderful thing.
Thank you.
I do believe things happen for a reason.
Yes.
And sometimes in my beliefs, and it could be off, but this is just me, sometimes we sacrifice one soul for thousands of souls.
Yes.
And to me, that's, as unfairly as you sound, I think it's wonderful that you take this approach of positivity and go through it. And you know, it's like if God had asked you, would you sacrifice this to save 1,000? It's so hard to make. Obviously, it's not. I'm not saying that God puts us in that position. I'm saying it's a perspective of looking from positivity, like you do. I'm gonna speak about it. I'm gonna try to impact as many people as I can. I'm gonna make this a legacy for my son that obviously I sacrificed in a sense. So I think that's very wonderful. I want to thank you for sharing that story. I really didn't know much about it. I see Amy at the racquetball center that we play, and she's always so full of life, and she's so energetic. Her passion, it's amazing. And I was like, I really want to share the story with my audience and spread the word more out there about drinking and driving. I agree with you. I think there's not enough education.
No, there's not. And there's still the mentality, too, where it's not going to happen to me, and I'm okay.
So what would be the message because I do want you to express your message to the audience, what would be the message that you would want to address today for them to take in consideration to do?
That you don't have to be a not over wobbly drunk to make this happen to somebody else. All it takes is one drink. And you're affected, your judgment's already affected. If you feel even a slight buzz, you're still going to impact or make the wrong choice in judgment and getting behind the wheel. It's like, oh, I'm not that bad. Well, I'm not that bad has killed many people. And
so ultimately the responsibility of making the right choice and be responsible for not taking the action of driving when you consume alcohol.
Correct. Okay. Or any other type of drugs. And a lot of people don't understand when on prescription pills, when you have that warning label on the side, it says do not operate heavy machinery. A lot of people think heavy machinery, the big construction equipment with the backhoes and all of this. A lot of people have that mentality that that's the big heavy machinery that they're talking about. It's not. A car is a weapon, and that is one of the operating heavy machinery is part of that. Your car is a weapon.
Your car is a weapon. I like that. I also, in my beliefs, I believe that it's more to it. There's also another factor that I wanted to see. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. High risk behavior.
Yes.
And that is caused by completely no alcohol. It has nothing to do with the drugs. That just stems from high risk behavior. Stems from other issues such as childhood, and it gives you the adrenaline. And it's a whole different world out there that needs to be talked about, in my opinion. So, but also alcohol it impairs your judgment.
Yes.
And I'm guilty of it because I do go to events and I do have one glass of wine and I literally look and I'm like, this is my limit because I can't. And I agree with you. I'm very guilty of that.
We all are. And I'm
And-
not going to plead any, I did it way before. And unfortunately, my brother was an alcoholic, and he had angels watching out for him. But unfortunately, for my brother, he was, like I said, he was an alcoholic. He died at the age of 34 because of the alcohol. So I've seen what alcohol does on both sides. One was a slow suicide that was created by him, and the other was somebody else's bad choice. And watching what it did to my brother and my immediate family, with what it did to my parents, on the many things that, oh my gosh, that my brother did. And then on the other hand, what alcohol did to somebody else, causing them.
So the rip effect of
Yes.
that causing not just to you as a person, but also the family, friends, and of course, job, the success, everything can, and we all know that. And you're right. The best thing to do is to just talk about it, bring awareness, and keep, reminding ourselves and other people that, hey, we all the guilty and the same.
Yes.
We all do it, but let's try to push each other and support each other and remind each other that it's not the best thing
That's
or
right.
the best choice.
Yes.
So my last question is, what would you say the audience, what would you tell the audience that, I just want you to say your message, like what would you tell the audience that you could, if you could change right now and you have this power, what would you say?
I would just say, think before you do anything. It's okay to go out and have a good time. And that's not what Matt is about. We are not against alcohol. We just, Matt as a whole, and me personally, just do it responsibly. And if you're going to go out and have a good time, plan in advance. Between all the options that are out there now, we have the Uber, we have the taxis, we have friends, designated drivers. There's so many options, and it's so much cheaper and happier, because you'll wake up the next morning versus in jail wondering, why am I here?
And your whole life falls apart.
Yes, and your whole life falls apart. And it's $30 for a ride versus $5,000 to $10,000 for a DUI. And it's not okay to say, I am okay, and get behind the wheel of a car. And one of my sayings that I've kind of done the last 20 years is, keep your dreams alive, don't drink and drive.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Everyone, please let us know, what do you think about this issue? I'm very interested to bring awareness. I'm genuinely interested in bringing awareness in the society issues. I feel like a lot of people are focusing on how to be successful, how to make money, how to excel in career, how to, get things that they love to do, how to have fun, how to travel. But what I don't see a lot is, how do we get there?
Yes.
What does it take to get there? I constantly emphasize on, show the grind and the hustle, talk about your problems, ask the help. But the fact that you bring the society issues, and that is one of my main topics with, it's to bring the society issue in the light. And even if 5 people try to do something about it, the chances are that somebody will end up with a good choice.
Yes. Yes.
So we do have the power to actually change the mentality and help other people.
Yes.
And most important, the future generation.
Correct. And that's where it's going to start. Because unfortunately, as a parent, and I bring this up when I talk to adults, is we tell our kids not to do this and that.
But then they see you doing it.
And then they go right around and do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, we have to practice what we preach.
The behavior is modeled.
Yes.
Yeah, the behavior is modeled. And it's copied by what we see versus not what we say.
Yes.
And I agree with you. I want to thank you
You're welcome.
so much for sharing your story. I really connected with you at a much deeper level, and I respect you. I always do. I mean, I did before too, but I respect even more the fact that you stand out there and you take a stand. Let us know what you think. Tell us about your story. Help us spread the word about how important it is to really be responsible and not get behind the wheel after consuming alcohol.
Or
I'm not
anything.
Or anything, yeah.
Or anything.
I'm not going to say the amount because I can't speak for everybody. But what I'm saying is the responsibility of just think before, right?
Yes, think before.
Think before, yeah. Amy, we got to do this again because my voice got to get better.
We will.
And I wanted to bring you back here and tackle other topics. Everyone, we really appreciate your feedback. Please share the message and don't forget to be kind to yourself.
Yes.
Thank you.